So let's start with the first. Let's start with the dominant ENFJ subtype. Now, if you are a tech or a type geek, basically what this means is that your first two cognitive functions, so in this case, extroverted feeling or what we call harmony, and introverted intuition or what we call perspectives, both of them have an energy of assertiveness because each of the cognitive functions can have both an assertive, sort of focused, directive energy, and they can have a receptive, more peripheral experience, meaning that they're taking in. Sometimes your cognitive function is really focused on one thing and really is moving towards that one goal, but it doesn't see things in the side, nothing in the peripheral. And sometimes your function is a little bit more open and sees things in the peripheral, but maybe struggles to make something specific happen. And the dominant ENFJ, both of those functions are directive. They're focused. They're technically called analytic versions of the functions. And that's what creates the dominant subtype. But as far as characteristics go, these are charismatic leaders, right? They're the ones who are really anchored in their values. They are pretty certain that they know what is needed for society to improve, and they gain the needed insights to get there. Okay, so they have a lot of certainty. They're good at herding cats, staying on message, believing that this is what society or at least the culture needs, and getting people there.
I always think of this as almost like older sibling energy. Like, I'm going to take charge. I'm going to help get the needs of the family, all the other kids that are younger than me, organized. Again, metaphorically, not literally, although it could be literal too. The older sister, the older brother, the one that's going to help mom and dad rally the troops and get something done. That's right. Often, I think, this energy of the dominant.
Yep, exactly. They have strong executive and managerial skills. They are skilled at deduction, step-by-step planning, abstract concepts, and metaphor. They are naturals at communicating, so they are very good at communicating what it is that they are trying to get everybody to move towards, and they sort of have a herding cats mentality. They are dramatic, assertive figures as a general rule, right? They have sort of a flair about them, and they're willing to use drama to get everybody going in the direction that they need to go. They're very anchored in their values, and there's still an idealism about them, right? So they have an idealistic perspective of how society should look, and they're very good at moving people towards that outcome.
These are also the types you're going to see in like boardrooms, corporate America, not just the older sibling energy, but going for a career path that's more in leadership, executive ranks, things like that.
Right. And especially since they are the type that don't back down from confrontation.
Yeah.
Right. They have an assertiveness about them that makes them willing to, do what needs to be done in order to make it all happen. And so unsurprisingly, the kinds of career choices that dominant ENFJs find themselves in is anything that is basically they fill group leadership roles, right? They are educators, they're policy gurus, they're spiritual guides. They very much gravitate to any sort of educational leadership combination. You'll find them in politics. You'll find them in the highest levels of, like you mentioned, executive roles. And you're going to see them, even if they're not in those like sort of bigger, boardroom situations, maybe they're leading the, sort of the local PTA, or they're highly involved in their community, really trying to move things forward. There's a sense that there's a liaison quality about them as well, sort of helping people bridge gaps in order to get the bigger community going towards the ultimate goal.